Hey there. So in this video, I'm going to be talking with you on whether the weight of your BMX bike actually matters. But before I get into the video, I want to give two shout outs to a couple people who are super interactive with me on YouTube. The first guy is going to be Graybeard Wolf. He's an older guy and his 14-year-old son has been riding his old 21-inch Haro bike. Now, after looking at some of my stuff, he figured out that the top tube size really matters. So he got him a kink bike with the proper top tube size, and he said he's been progressing like crazy. That's so cool to hear. And now he's actually looking for a bike for himself to get back into the sport. So I love when those older guys reach out, get back into the sport. It's so cool to see. The other guy is Lucas Stipp. He's just always commenting on my stuff. And like I said, I appreciate all the support, guys. So real quick, don't forget, I'm gonna go live every single Friday to hang out with you guys and answer any questions that you have. It's Friday as I'm filming this, so when I get done here, I'm about to go do the live. But I have so much fun answering the questions, talking with you guys, and just hanging out. So don't forget to head over to my channel, click get notified when I go live, and come hang out with me. All right, let's get right into the video. The Dougster Bomb mission. Growing BMX by making it fun and easy to understand. For some of us, it's an escape. For others, it's a passion. But for all of us, it's a lifestyle. You're gonna love this sport. I'm glad you're letting me teach you everything that I know about it. All right, so does the weight actually matter? And we're not talking about your weight. We're talking about the weight of your bike. Your weight is going to be a whole different video because that does play a big role on the choices you make when you're buying a bike. But the quick answer, guys, the weight of your bike does matter. So it's going to help you control the bike to learn different tricks. It's going to be a lot easier to just maneuver. There's no way that Logan Martin could do the tricks he does with a heavy bike. Now you look back to the old school riding and they were on really heavy bikes, still doing crazy tricks. And that's because they're a different breed. We grew up with our cell phones and Uber Eats. We're not hardcore like that. So we need those light bikes to do those big tricks. Now it only matters to a certain extent. And what I mean by that is if you're a brand new rider, getting the lightest bike isn't gonna help you out at all. When you're brand new, you need to focus on the bike control and just the basic understanding of how to do tricks. Once you get to that point, then you can start to look at weight upgrades to better those tricks and better your abilities. So I see so many people just throw money at their bike, literally throwing money because they want to get it super light because they think it's a quick fix. Like you can buy the talent it takes to do certain tricks. And that's not the case. It's gonna help you to a certain extent, but it's not a quick fix. So with that being said, let's talk about some different weight upgrades that you can do that are the best bang for your buck. We wanna talk about things like tires. And what I mean by that is a lot of stock tires weigh a lot. And it's something that's really overlooked. Now, if you look, you can get some Kevlar tires that are almost 10 ounces lighter than some stock tires. So by doing that, on 2 tires, you're saving yourself almost 1.5 pounds. And that's a huge amount of savings just on tires. So you spend, maybe 50, 60 bucks on some new tires and you shave off 1.5 pounds on your bike. Those are the kind of weight upgrades we want to talk about. So another thing like that is your seat post. You don't need a seat post this long if you're riding it slammed. So you can chop off a part of that and save a good portion of 1 pound or so. All right, and the last one I can really think of off the top of my head is your spindle. So if you don't know what your spindle is, it's the piece of metal that goes through your bottom bracket and holds your cranks on. Now by upgrading to a gun hole drive, like profile spindle, or if you want to get crazy, you could do a titanium spindle. You're saving 0.5 pound right there, and that's a huge difference. So just with those two things, we're cutting off 2 to maybe 3 pounds on your bike and spending very minimal amounts of money. So that's important. Now on the same topic of weight, I feel like it's really important to explain to you what rotational weight is. So rotational weight is the parts on your bike that rotate. Now I remember back in middle school, we did like a demonstration with some guy for physics. I don't know. But he had us hold a bike wheel with pegs. This was before I rode bikes. And we sat in a chair that could spin around. And he spun the wheel. So you're holding it, okay? And if you went like this, your body started to spin that way. Same with the other way. And that's what rotational weight is. It's the weight of that, like, so your wheel, for example, spinning, and it's gonna take you in different directions. So with a really heavy front wheel, it's gonna lag a bar spin. With really heavy front and back wheels, it's gonna lag a 360. And that's why people go so crazy with Tubolitos, Maxxis grifter tires, titanium hubs, titanium spokes, alloy nipples, because they want to minimize rotational weight as much as possible. And that's going to help riders 1080, 720 whip, stuff like that, because that rotational weight, not there. So there's not much keeping them back from a big spin. So as you start to upgrade your bike for weight, keep that in mind. The tires, like we talked about earlier, that's a rotational weight thing. So cutting off that 1.5 pounds is really gonna help you out overall. So we talked about some good weight upgrades, but now let's talk about some stupid weight upgrades. I'm kind of ashamed to admit that back in the day, I was a huge hardcore weight weenie. I would sacrifice quality to save a couple ounces no matter what, because I thought by doing that, I'd become a better bike rider. And here's what I got out of it. All right, I had a super light frame, crashed, it broke in half, and overall it was a bad time. Also because of that, I went through 2 different stems that I thought would be awesome because they were super light. They broke, I snapped bars in half. Anything you can think of, I probably bought a cheap light version of it and destroyed it and then got hurt because of it. So some certain things that you don't want to mess with is going to be things with holes drilled in them, specifically stems. A lot of times companies cut holes out of the sides of the stem to save some weight. And this is good until all that pressure of you landing pushes down. Break those 2 pieces of stem that's holding it together. And that's no good. Also, going crazy with a really light frame is sketchy. You can spend a lot of money, like say titanium, for example. That would be an okay upgrade. It's gonna be really expensive, but you're not sacrificing the quality for the weight upgrade. Now the frames that I got, they were full chromoly. They had a Maltese bottom bracket, so they're real small. It's like Spanish bottom bracket. And they were so light. They were like 3 pounds or something. The metal was just so thin. And so that's what caused, I broke 2 in like 6 months. And I said, okay, enough of that. I just got a fit frame and it was really good. Quality over weight every time. All right, and the last thing I'm gonna touch on is how to weigh your bike. I was looking at this earlier and I'm 99% sure I spelt that wrong. But let me know because it just looks weird, doesn't it? Anyway, here's how you can weigh your bike. I'm gonna tell you 2 different ways. A lot of people are like, what's the weight of your bike? And honestly, I don't know, I don't weigh it. Some people are into that, and if you are, here's how you're gonna do it, okay? The first way is with a normal scale that you're gonna have in your bathroom. You're gonna weigh yourself, okay? Write down that weight. Then you're gonna grab your bike, and you're gonna weigh yourself, okay? And then you write down that weight also. And then you subtract your first weight from the weight with your bike, and whatever's left is the weight of your bike. Now this way is not super accurate, but it's pretty good. The second way, you could buy a thing, either a bike scale or like a luggage scale, a thing you use to weigh luggage, and it just hangs up somewhere and it has a hook. You set your bike on there and it measures the pressure of your bike pulling down on it, and that's gonna be the weight of your bike. Real simple. The first way, everyone has a bathroom scale, so that's probably the best bet, but it's not gonna be as accurate as the second way. So that is gonna be everything that you need to know about the weight of your bike. I tried to keep it real short, sweet, and to the point without any mindless babbling. If you guys like this kind of content, don't forget to head over, subscribe, get notified when I post new stuff because I'm always working on some new content. I really hope to see you guys in the live this Friday and every Friday after that. With that being said, guys, have a great rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out.